There we go. So, hey, what's up? I was just saying, Kate is sorry to cut the music off on you. He was vibing to the music there in the chat. Yeah, sorry. The music's still playing. It's just lower. STXCII. Is there a way that I should read that, by the way? Anyway, I saw you mention there in the chat that you just joined Discord. Indeed. Last night, good to have you there. Appreciate it. Got some there. I was just thinking, like, I wish I could do the who is it? Anyway, Ethan Klein, H3H3. If you guys are H3H3 fans, who is it that he's like copying or making fun of with the "What up, pimps"? Oh, it's a Keemstar, right, or something. Anyway, I was thinking I wish I could start off my streams like that, but number one, I think I'm just like not awake enough in the morning to like shout that much, and I'm just not a shouting person. I just don't. I guess it's something you just have to practice, but it's not something that I just don't shout like that. I guess I had to be pretty drunk, probably to shout what it would take to pull off a proper "What up, pimps." I just can't do it. Yeah, Boom Cannon, right? I'm just too chill. It is not me. I wish it was. It's funny, but anyway, what's going on, guys? The other thing, I was just I was having some pre-stream thoughts. And the other thing that I was thinking about while setting the thumbnail for this is the thumbnail is the image, one of the promo images of this kit. No, it's not here, but anyway, just like for example, like one of these images like that. And you guys have maybe heard me talk about, like, in reviews before, reviews for kits, how using the images in the manual is like a good basis for posing the kit. Like if you're not really good at posing, you just look at the poses in the manual and just try to recreate them. But I was just thinking that, like, the other, like, especially as a reviewer, but I mean, it applies for you guys as well too, just on your own. But the other good reason for, like, trying to recreate the poses in the manual is kind of a way of, like, calling out bullshit on the company if the kit can actually do that pose. Because, you know, sometimes the pose is like, looks really awesome in the manual and you try to do it and you're like, you're just like realizing there's no way that this kit can actually pull off that pose. I've had that happen at times before, and there's no real point to that other than just like the personal kind of satisfaction or dissatisfaction, but like satisfaction in that you found out for yourself and that actually you can't do it. You know, then I guess ultimately you would be then a little bit dissatisfied with the kit, but just testing it out on your own, if the kit can actually do what it's promoted as being able to do. Anyway, just pronounce your name as Stacy. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. I was thinking that, but yeah. Anyway, okay, fair enough, Stacy. That's good. Another one that I'm just not going to pronounce right, I'm sure, probably there on Twitch, Asicon. Anyway, what up? Yes, testing the kit, right. Let's see, Lewis, what's your opinion on P-Bandai special coating kits? I mean, they're cool. I'm not really that into them. I enjoyed checking out these special coating Sazabi because it's just big and special. But usually I don't really like those kind of kits. They're just not really for me. I don't really like metallic painted stuff. Like if you watch like any of my painted builds and stuff, you've never seen me make a metallic painted build because it's just not the aesthetic that I like. If it was, and if I wasn't able to paint by myself, then I might be more interested in the coated kits. The coated kits are nice if you don't paint, or if you just can't be bothered painting a certain kit, you can just get the metallic coating version, and it looks pretty cool. Mael said, which version of the new Frame Arms Girl Magatsuki do you like more? The standard one. There's the regular one is like reddish, right? And then there's alt color version of that that's like white coming out, right? Is that right? If I remember correctly. Yeah, I like just the regular one. I think it was the later one they announced the alt color version was white, if I remember correctly, and I wouldn't really like it that much. Yes. Oh yeah, maybe it's pink, white and pink, I guess, yeah. Head case, maybe you're right on that. Yes, CP Stevens, matte paint gang, yes, matte paint. Or in the case of like Machining Krieger stuff, it's gotta be a little bit, Asa. If like Machining Krieger stuff, kind of to achieve the look, usually they're a little bit like semi-gloss. Edward Lee, hello. No, I don't necessarily have to reply to you, but I will oblige you this time and say hello. I saw you there in the chat. D'Angelo, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for the super chat. As always, just wouldn't be the kickoff of a new live stream without your super chat now. Whenever the day comes when you're not here, it's gonna feel really strange not having that super chat to start us off. As always, appreciate it. What if I just started live streaming every day, Danjo, and just drove you into debt? And why can't I open this? And vitamin water. There we go. Hate that when you're trying to open something that like is very possible to like make a big mess, and you're like, you have to go Hulk on it, but at the same time, you know, if you're not careful, it's just gonna explode everywhere. So for the construction of this, it's gonna be kind of basically like in 3 parts. I actually got it separated into 3 containers for each part, just because otherwise it's kind of hard. Building these Mecha Musume kits is usually with Gunpla kits I just use 1 container and I can put everything in there, but with these Mecha Musume kits you it's hard to keep everything organized without separating it out more, so I usually have to use multiple containers. So the first part, we're just building like the main body, just the base body, and then the second part is building like all the armor for the girl, so we have to like change the arms and the legs and some parts on the body and stuff for the armored up version. And then the third part is like all the spider mechanical legs and stuff. So easy enough. Let's get it started. Let me just say some other hellos here. Hello Vrojan from the Rise of Gunpla here. Arachne Kids. Hello Vrojan. Yes, I need to check out your. You sent me another couple messages on the Discord, I know. I'll check that out later today. Let's see. Patrick Leslie, what's going on, Patrick? Where do you get containers like that? Oh, these ones, these are like actual Frame Arms Girl branded ones. I've got 2 of here. These were, anyway, I got these from Hobby Link Japan. They were having a thing, I think a year or 2 years ago. They had a deal going where you could get one of these, like if you ordered one of the Frame Arms Girl kits, basically. I'm not sure if these were available like in any other, like at the Kotobukiya store or anything like that. I don't know. They were just a thing that Hobby Link Japan was doing. So, and Stacy, thank you as well for the super chat there. Also, Stacy, appreciate that. Look at that. Became a Patreon supporter, joined the Discord, and using super chat as well. Man, thank you for your generosity. Appreciate that. Let's see. Okay. Waiting for reissues of MG units makes me want to scream. Yeah. The waiting for reissues game, I mean, just because there's no way to know what's coming out ever, so. Yep. Well, unless unless you've got an inside track. So let's see. With frame arms, okay, they are labeled A, B, and C. So for the sake of it, we'll just use face A for today. It'll just be the kind of standard face, I imagine. So, and also should point out this is the 2.0 as it says in the title, but I'll just also clarify. This is the 2.0 version. One of the differences between the original release and the 2.0, I think like the main difference is basically that it comes with new faces compared to the original release. When the kit was originally released, I wasn't that interested for two reasons. Number one, the whole spider aesthetic thing wasn't really that cool in my opinion. I didn't really like it, and still it's not really that much for me. I think this kit looks a lot better now than it did, and you know, I always enjoy building these Mecha Musume kits, but the whole spider aesthetic, yeah, I could, you know, take it or leave it. But the other thing that I didn't like about this kit when I first saw it was that just the faces looked awful. I mean, sometimes you have that, like with certain kits where like it'll look good in the promotional images, and then you get the kit and you're like, well, that doesn't actually look that good. But like even from the promotional images, the faces looked really crap on this kit, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. So like what was it, the cat kit that came out a while back, what was that, from Orange, what was that, anyway, the Cat 01 test type, that girl kit, that was another one that was just like, man, what was on the box and what the kit ended up looking like were just not good. Was not pleased with that. I mean, kit was fine, but so anyway, the new 2.0 version now has new faces which look a lot better, and they really are quite nice. Definitely a lot better than what the old ones used to be. And also a cool thing about this back part of the hair is it's one solid piece with the little spider bit on there. But even Kotobuki, I would imagine, probably would have made this as two separate pieces, like an inner and outer piece you kind of clamshell together. But fortunately, it's just one piece, and just meant to stick up like that, which is a bit strange because it's kind of defying gravity. But there you go. That's the head. Simple enough. If you guys are unfamiliar with ever building any kits like this, these kits have a lot of parts, but they tend to go together pretty quickly. Usually building them, I find, even on the ones like Megami Device kits and things that have loads of parts, like the Ninetales kit, for example. Well, that one took a little while, I guess, but they tend to come together faster than you might expect. And I think that also probably comes with over time. If you've built a number of them, they're all kind of generally similar, so you kind of get used to the process, how they go together. I mentioned in the last stream that the Big O would be good for RG. I think I found a better line for the Big O, the HG Infinitism line. Oh yeah, definitely. That's a good point. Boom Cannon. Yeah, exactly. I think RG could be cool, but yeah, definitely. I think similar to the Machine Krieger, to the Mazinger kits. Yeah, that'd be a good line for Big O. Yeah. Which is basically just like figure out standard, right? Essentially. So yeah. Hello, well, the 2.0 version looks way better. Yes, indeed. And aside from the faces, the 2.0 version, I think the other difference, as I've heard, and someone correct me on this if I'm wrong, or I'll not only be wrong, but I'll be only partially aware, I guess, of the difference. Basically, the 2.0 version also has more clear green parts. Where like for all the green parts on this kit, you have options in the box. You have the same runner in either clear green or opaque, like fluorescent bright green, or clear green. I'm using all the clear green parts because in the manual, the photography of the kit is all with the clear green parts, so that's what I'll use for mine. But if you did prefer just the regular opaque green, you can use those as well too. Let's see. Entry grade RX was perfect for practicing seam line removal. Yes, that's true. That's it. It's a good kit for practicing seam line removal. There's other things as well too. I mean, that can be good for that. Basically, any of Bandai's cheap kits, like what was I gonna say? Like any the Poképla quick ones. I mean, would be good too. Or I don't know, any like cheap kit like that. Usually, it's gonna have some seam lines on it. This part, even on the Megami device kits, I always have trouble with this part, getting the halves of the chest together, because where you have to, like the peg to connect the front and back pieces here, where you have to press that is kind of like up inside there where you can't really press it, so I always usually end up having to use some sort of blunt tool to kind of press on that to get the two halves actually fully pressed together as much as possible anyway. It's good grief. Are you going to put me in troubles at work for watching this video? Also, good evening everyone. Lewis, I don't think so. I don't think you'll be in trouble. There's not any nude parts or anything like that. Now when we build the Kraken dress kit, then possibly. I do have that here, and it's in the queue. I don't think that I'm gonna live build that. If you guys want, maybe. Yeah, I'll put it to a vote. But I'm sure if I put it to a vote, I'm sure probably you guys are gonna vote yes. So probably don't need to ask. But yeah, I do have the DX version Kraken dress kit here as well. But got. Let's see, aside from that, I got the Kraken dress kit, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 other non-Kotobukiya Mecha Musume kits that are in the queue over there. I got the circuit is already built up. I have not reviewed it yet, but I already built that up first. And then this is the second one, and then 4 more, including the Kraken dress. So I ordered the other version, the Scorpion one. Can't wait. It's pretty much like a frame arms girl. Yes, Ghost Monkey. Yes, that's the circuit I was just mentioning. Yeah, the circuit. I already built that up, and yeah, it's quite nice. Building the actual like Scorpion part of it took probably twice as long as building the girl. There's just a ton of parts for building that part of the kit, so it takes a while, but it's pretty cool. Yeah. Zach, you should 100% build the MG Pro.0. Yeah. I've mentioned that Mike a couple times in recent streams. It's just come up for different reasons, but yeah, basically I guess the main reason that it's come up is just mentioning it as a kit that I've always thought looks cool, but I've never actually built it. Someday I imagine I'm sure I'll build one, but yeah, probably not anytime this year, because I'm going to do my best before moving back to the US to try not to get any new kits that are not like new kits. So like obviously I'll get new kits that are coming out in order to review them, but any older kits like that, I'll try not to add anything to the collection that then just needs to be moved. So maybe later after moving back to the US, I can finally check out the Proto-0. Alright. How are you guys doing today? You plan on putting LEDs into it, Ghost Monkey? Ah, yes, LEDs into the circuit kit. Yeah, could be cool. This one as well too, with the clear green parts. If you were to wire it with some custom LEDs, could be very cool. Gotta whittle down the backlog first. Yeah, try to. I mean, that's kind of the reason, one of the reasons why I've never gotten that kit, because I've always had plenty of other stuff to work on. And so I I do occasionally, you know, get older kits, like buying older kits or something like that. For one reason or another. But I try not to too much, just because I have a lot already, and just keeping up with all the new releases and stuff keeps me plenty busy enough. So usually, you know, going back to older kits is just not really something that I really have the bandwidth to do normally, unless I need it for like a specific reason. I have something specific in mind I'm doing with it. So yeah, that'd be just kind of why I haven't got the Proto-Zero. But like, for example, I did recently to get the Death Side Hell Custom MG, but that was because it was a prize from placing in that Facebook contest recently. Alright. But just as for the kit here, as you can see, you know, if you've built Megami Device kits before, the construction is going to be pretty similar. You've got basically two sections of the torso here that then pop together. The very, very thin midsection there. Not very realistic body proportions, obviously, but some people might appreciate this. You know, I'm not, well, I won't name call anyone, but I'm not the kind of person that gets bothered by a kit, as I see some people complain about, saying that they don't like the Frame Arms Girl kits or Megami Device kits or whatever because the proportions of the characters seem or appear like too young for them, which I think is just weird. Because I mean, the implication is that it's somehow weird to build a model of a female character that's too young, and that the implication is that too young in a sexual sense, and that means you're applying that sexuality to what is just a model kit. It's just a small handful of plastic that you're applying that sexuality to, which is just kind of weird to do, in my opinion. There's nothing sexual about it. It's a model kit. So that's weird. But one complaint that I do hear a lot of those kind of people with those type of complaints complain about, yes, is the proportions. And at least if you're one of those, you can rest at ease that this one does not have that issue. Not exactly. So yeah. Welcome to the double standards of online Puritanism. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. I've always thought that, you know, it's one of those where they say that kind of expression of, oh, well, that says a lot more about you than it does about me. I think that says a lot more about you than it does about me or anyone else who enjoy building these kits. If you're looking at a plastic model and your thought is, oh, that's strangely sexual in a taboo way. Anyway, that said, I do wish Kotobukiya would branch out to a little bit more curvy designs, let's say. That's one reason why I did particularly like the Jean kit. What was it, Phantasy Star Online? Right? That's about as thick as they've gone so far, and is still not that thick. Oh, Patrick, thank you so much for the super chat, man. You really generous again here today. What non-Gundam kits would you want to see next in the RG line? Ah, yes. Well, let's think about that. Next in the RG line, non-Gundam kits. Well, the Big O, as we mentioned earlier, would be pretty cool. If we continue in the Evangelion line, I would love to see a mass-produced Eva kit. But, you know, stepping outside of Evangelion, another mecha kit, that would be cool. See, the problem is, as I've mentioned at times, that I'm just not a big anime person. I don't really watch actually a whole lot of anime, so it's kind of hard for me to say. But Ultraman would be cool. Like the Ultraman kits in the Figurized line are really nice. But I think they could definitely be even better as real grade kits. You know, get that full inner frame in there and get a lot better articulation, everything going with that. I think could be pretty cool. And it would be the first time to have like an actual sort of human, I guess, a little tight connection there. Sort of like human actual like body. I mean, Evangelion, okay, humanish, but human like, yeah. That would be cool to see in the RG line. RG Voltron, yeah. Dragonar. See, these are just things that I don't really know about. Gurren Lagann. Yeah. Again, something I'm not really too familiar with, but as much as I am familiar with the designs, I suppose so, yeah. Basically anything that's not quite so realistic. I think the more realistic the design, like say for example like the Ground Gundam or something like that, I think just is not as well suited in the RG line, to be honest. I think just like the RG kits are probably just like better suited for the little bit more fantastical or super robot or kind of thing. Yeah, Zoc? No, I don't know about that. See, a Goof Custom or a Dom drop-in, I mean, I'm sure they'd be cool, but I think just I prefer just nice master grades of those, or high grades. As well as Gog Zagok. I think that said, I don't know, the Gelgoog, maybe Gelgoog. What's wrong with the Zoc, Eric? What's right with the Zoc? It's so silly. I guess if that's what you want, just something really goofy, then the Zoc is exactly right. I think Bandai needs to make ejecting cockpits. That'd be weird. It's a big obnoxious MS. Yeah, well, yeah, obnoxious indeed. Alright, let's see. Let's get these legs here. So I think I remember how this is supposed to go. But where's that? Aoshima does the VGF line from Macross. Yes. What SD design would you like to see as an RG? SD design as an RG? I don't know. Macross? I see on Twitch you guys are talking about Macross as RG line. I mean, that could work. That seems like that would be... If people talk about hand grenades, I think it's a little bit too much. Saying this is a hand grenade, that's a hand grenade. But I don't know, I imagine a Macross kit in the RG line would probably be a hand grenade. I wonder if USA Gundam Store has a Zoc in stock. I would imagine probably not. It's probably hasn't been printed in a while, and while it's pretty weird, I'm sure it probably has some appeal to it, so people probably buy them up pretty quick. Starship Troopers, Cockroach. Let's see, just trying to catch up here with some of the chat on Twitch as well too. Am I right to presume that this is based on Kotobukiya's Manga Device kit? What character is that from? Yeah. Not from anything. Yes, and totally different from Kotobukiya, but yes, definitely the technology, like the construction of the kit is very similar to a Kotobukiya Megami Device kit, yeah. You mean, basically you could say it's copied, but as I've heard, Kotobukiya doesn't really necessarily care about that, like as Bandai would. Bandai might be kind of more inclined to shut down a company that was basically copying their production of kits. But as I heard from Kotobukiya, or as I haven't heard this from Kotobukiya, but as I've heard about Kotobukiya, they're less inclined to do that because basically it's just kits. If people are buying more and more of these kits, they're going to be buying more Kotobukiya kits because they know they still make them the best. So if other companies are copying the Kotobukiya recipe basically and making their own, some people will buy them, but then people will buy more Kotobukiya kits ultimately too. So it's kind of like, all right, yeah, you can do it, but as long as we're still doing it better, we know we've still got the majority of the customers, that kind of thing. Just ordered this exact kit a few days ago. Cannot wait to compare it to an actual Megami Device Archer one. Dagger point. There you go. Yeah. So far, pretty good. Pretty solid, too. From my experience, at least building this one so far, and then building the Circuit one last week. They're quite solid, so that's good. And as you can see, we're just about done with the main body, and then we'll have to start on the armor portions. Bandai's like the Nintendo of Plamo. Yeah, kind of. And I mean, I guess, when you're at the top, you're trying to protect your business, so can't blame them too much. But how tall is this kit compared to an HG? It'd be a little bit taller. I can got my Gundam here. Hey, can you see that comparison? Yeah, a little bit taller than an HG. The only issue I have with Koto is their availability. They just don't produce as many kits. Yeah, Scuffle is right. They can't produce as many kits as Bandai does. No one can. And Bandai is now building their second factory. So, I mean, the production capabilities and aside from just the engineering technology, but the production capabilities Bandai has is just far and away. So, yeah. So when people complain about Kotobuki is expensive, or even complain Bandai is expensive. I think both assertions are kind of flawed, and that, you know, Bandai is quite cheap comparatively, and yeah, if you wanted to say that Kotobuki is expensive, I mean, there's a reason for that too. Alright. Who knows if a third party shall be up? Let's see. May have been asked previously, but have you heard about the Assault Angels SS01? Dagger Point? No, I don't believe. That doesn't sound familiar to me. Assault Angels. Maybe is that new Mecha Musume kit, kind of like cyborgy looking one? Oh shit, I put that. Did I do that on the other one too? I did, didn't I? Put the toe upside down. Oh no. Oops. Did it on both feet. Put the toe in upside down. How did I manage that? Yes, the B behind me. Yes, that's another one. I almost forgot. So aside from the 3 other Attack Girl kits still yet to build, and the what's it, Shanyu, whatever, the dragon one as well too, which is not Attack Girl but in a different line. I got that one that I need to build, and then the Kraken dress kit, and the B kit, and that's not even getting into the Kotobuki kits, which I've got a few different Kotobuki Musume kits in the queue behind me here as well also. So I could basically just do like a month of just only doing Mecha Musume kits, and I think people will just hate it. But some of you, I'm sure, would like it. It'd be very helpful for me, clearing out a bunch of them that I have stacking up in my queue, my review queue. But I have to kind of space them out because I know most of you, I don't know about most of you, you guys are probably here. If you're watching this, you're probably here for the Mecha Musume stuff, but most of the people who watch my channel are there for the robots. And I think most people don't mind a Mecha Musume review kit review here and there, but if I just do like 5 in a row, probably gonna hear some complaints, I imagine. So but what do you guys think? Should we just say F them and just do it and just enjoy all the Mecha Musume kits and let everyone complain? Or what? What do you guys think? I also don't, I mean, honestly though, I don't think I would want to build like 5 in a row anyway. That knee part I also put upside down, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I wasn't sure, but now that it's put together, I'm sure. I put that knee part upside down. Shoot. Big mistake. I checked it too because I wasn't sure putting it in. There's a up and down way to put that in there. Oh, I thought my part separator wasn't here, but it is here. That's good. Huh. I see there is some support there, it looks like, for just all the Musume kits. Should we just do like Musume March, or like all for the month of March, or just do just loads of Mecha Musume reviews? I mean, that'd be one way to do it, I suppose. There we go, that's better. They issue probably pop ball once. Yes. Say Musume March Madness. Yeah, there you go. Hey, what's going on, Greg? Hey, yeah, what do you guys think? March Musume Madness. Is it yes or is it no? Let's see. How's the GPO2 coming along, Patrick? I've got the next video that I gotta edit. That'll be up, I guess, probably tonight for you guys. Will be the next part of the GPO2, the arms. See, Greg. Nuclear Kid, Musume. Ah, yes, that certainly makes a lot of sense too, as well to do it in May. Musume, yes, certainly, but I don't know if I can wait that long. I don't want to have them just sitting around here that long. I want to do it sooner. So, yes, well, I think that probably makes the most sense. We'll probably just opt for May. Okay, you mean March? Now I'm confused too. Okay. But I see a lot of you guys agreeing with the idea, but yeah, I know that's just, I mean, if you're here watching this, you're already inclined, I'm sure, to want that sort of thing. If you're watching now. I need to start on some of my Megami device programs, girls kits. I own all except 2. I have a closet full of them. Yeah. Once you start, it's a slippery slope. Alright, so bastard. They do this thing where, you know, in Bandai kits, when you're putting it in like one step of the construction, there's like one part that has to go in first. They'll put a little 1 there and then a little 2 to show like which part goes in first and which part goes in second. And they do this thing with these kits, and I noticed this on the I think on the Dachshund kit as well too. I think on like a Machine Career kit I was looking at recently was doing this, where they just have a part grayed in the manual as like that's the part you're supposed to put in first, because it's gray. It's like, come on, can you just put a little 1 there for me? Make it easier. Not paying attention really to like the shading of the part. But even though this is the armored arm now that they're building, not really that many more parts than just the standard arm, basically. So again, the construction goes pretty quick on these. And then let me see, we've got this part goes on the back of the arm, and this part pointing upwards like that. This clear green part, what's that? Like that, there you go. Yeah, the clear green parts do look pretty cool on this, though, I will say. So that's like that. Morning, Zach. Morning, Farid. What's going on? That's weird. Great. Hey, what's going on, Alex? Good morning. I finished actually just yesterday and then into this morning before the live stream. I was working on the review of that Iron Man kit, which I'm now done with. So come on through, my man. I'm done with the review on the Iron Man kit. So that's also a review that'll be coming up for you guys to check out in the near future. I do like that the hands for this kit, like the armored hands, have like nice armor on there and like have the pointed fingernails and stuff too. They look pretty cool. When are you going to do the entry grade Gundam in rollout colors? I'm not doing the entry grade Gundam in rollout colors. My plan is to do the perfect grade in rollout colors. And I was planning to do that like right now at this time, but I've not yet started painting the perfect grade yet. And I'm worried it's going to slip into not happening at this time, but I don't know. I'm still kind of keeping it around here. I've got it underneath my desk actually, in hopes that I will get around to painting that here. I'll get started on that soon, but I'm not sure. I just have a lot of stuff. So to switch out the arms, all I do is just pull off the arm, pop that on instead. There you go. Easy peasy. And does look pretty cool, the comparison. I mean, just if you were to have it half and half, it's like half the armored and just half the simple basic arm. It's pretty nice looking. Like that, pretty cool. Kind of like a gauntlet arm. How is the face printing compared to Kotobuki? I remember being turned off by the faces on the promo images. Yeah, Comical Nerd, yes, I was talking about that earlier. I was the same. I was very turned off by the images of this kit when it first came out, but this is the 2.0 version, and the 2.0 version now has improved faces, and they are definitely improved. I can say they definitely look a lot better. Quite good, actually. Yeah. I would say not 100% Kotobukiya, but pretty close. How's your backlog? Shuri, my backlog process overall not going well now. It was going well, knocking out a bunch of those HTUC kits for a while, for a couple weeks, but now I've just been kind of piled on with all these new kits that have come in recently, so I've just kind of now, for the time being, just kind of focusing on trying to make my way through all these new kits, and then I'll hopefully be able to get back to some of the stuff in the backlog in the near future. But for now, there's too much new stuff coming out and things, so it's keeping me busy. When will be your next live stream, Zach? Lorenz, I was planning to live stream some more progress on the Dachshund Machine Career Kit tomorrow, but I'm not sure if that will be tomorrow or possibly Thursday. But that'll be the next live stream build. Will be the third and final installment of live stream building the Dachshund kit. So, yeah. That'll be all for this week, I think. But next week, we'll see. Hang on, I need to check this arm. Okay. So, like that. Yeah, the Mecha Girl kit's a very similar construction. Yeah, so I mean, that makes them pretty quick to put together. Mecha Musume kits, I mean, just in terms of like a little reviewer insight for you guys. In terms of putting the Mecha Musume kits together, they go together pretty quickly, but they have a lot of parts. So cutting out all the parts and cleaning up all the parts does still take a little while, so they have that. And reviewing the kits takes a long time. That's the biggest trouble with these kits. Actually, doing the review for Musume kits take probably the longest to do, just because they usually have tons of accessories and things. So like just going through, and I try to show you guys like in like the last part of the review is usually showing off just a bunch of different poses and stuff with the kits, and during that portion I like to show different poses and stuff featuring all of the different accessories and things like that. So usually with these kits they have tons of different option parts and accessories and things like that, so it just kind of recording that part of the review always takes a long time, and just like going through all of the accessories and everything takes a while. So it's just how it goes. Come off here. Have you ever built the 30 minutes missions? Yes, of course. Shuri, come on. How could you say that to me? I've got a bunch of 30 minutes missions reviews, and I've got some more on the way. I've got a few things here. Just a few of the more recent releases of like option set stuff that I've got here. Let's see. Yesterday I built the bootleg Astray Type F, and then one small part went flying off while building a really small part. So sad I can't find it. Yeah, I hear you. Think we've all been there. Okay, so this is gonna be tricky. You got 4 tiny little clear green pieces that need to go into the chest bar here. Ah! And I've tried to get these in here. There you go. I read the Astray series wrong and thought it was Astray once. What? What a doof. Also, and you get this piece here, which goes on the back to kind of lock the back into place, which is could be pretty useful for supporting the weight, so that you don't have the like falling backwards. I'm not going to put this on right now because you see like on the back you got these 2 like cap parts. So you need to remove the one here in the lower back, and you can put this connection piece there to kind of solidify the back of the kit. And wondering if that's right. It fits, so guess that means it's right. Anyway, there we go. So not a lot of changes to the body. Usually, like when you're doing this process of the build, going through and going from like the basic body type to the armored body type, usually there's a lot more changes that would be made to the body. Like there would be more armor and stuff going on in the body itself, but in this case it's not. Basically you're just changing the bra piece, essentially the top piece, top of the bikini half, from this brown one to this black one with the clear green parts inlaid in it, which does look pretty nice. And it's all one solid piece. So you can see like this like top collar piece. I'd imagine like on Kobukia kit probably would have been a separate piece or something, and it would have been held together by like these tiny little connection points that it would have been so finicky and popping off all the time, I can imagine. Fortunately, we don't have that problem with this. Let's go ahead and put together our other head here, our masked head. Ian Henry, thank you so much for the super chat there. Have you seen any of the custom Gundam artifacts on Twitter? Yes, I've been seeing those, yes. The way people can mod and paint those kits are insane. Yes, indeed. I think I still don't really like the look of them though, to be honest. Like the style of how they're detailed is just not to my taste. I mean, like the stock kits. I mean, I haven't seen too many like really modified. I've seen just some nice painted ones really, and like seam lines removed, basically. But I haven't seen a whole lot of ones where like they're like modified too much or anything like that. But if you see some cool ones, send me a link or something. I'm happy to check them out. But basically, for the most part, what I've seen so far is people just painting them up. Really nice. You should have an alternate persona and name him Gundam Aurelius. Okay, it's a good idea. Besides the resin hoodie one, have you custom painted any Mecha Musume girls? No, I've not, actually. That's it. Just the one. Alright, so we've got our lower face options, which I'll stick there to the side, where all you can see is the mouth once the mask is on, but you've got some options there for that. Basically, it's just kind of neutral face, again just based on the mouth. So open mouth and smiling, kind of smirking mouth. We're just gonna go with the neutral one for the moment. And I wonder how this will compare. This part for the back of the hair is basically the same. It looks like, as far as I can tell, it's a little bit different. And the spider on the back of the head is a little bit different. But it would appear that you can swap the full head without having to take anything apart. So that's nice. You can have the whole head there of just the unmasked version. You can keep the masked version as well too, without having to take anything apart, which is nice. This makes swapping between different head options easier without having to take anything apart, so that's good. So we got that. Let's see, then we got this clear pinkish purple part here for the eyes, which looks quite nice. This one as well too, you have options for, and you'll see all this in the later on in the review, the unboxing and review video. But you have this runner here in just like a kind of just opaque purple, if you prefer. It'd be for these clear purple parts there up in the side of her arms, and then for the spider eyes in the mask. The pegs look so creepy on the face. This one, like that. That looks creepy. Yeah, if you were to like paint those like bright red or something, kind of look like what's that? Wolf Brigade, Jinro. Kind of those bright glowing red eyes. So which one goes on first? Got the hair part here and this mask part. Seem like they're probably not going to fit on together well at the same time. One should go on first. I guess the mask should probably go on first. Speaking of mask, this mask really kind of reminds me of Mask from Reconquista and G. It does have a similar looking vibe to it, doesn't it? I haven't noticed that until just now, but I'm gonna have a hard time unseeing that. So let's see. This is like this. And this part up above. And green part here below, like that. Yep. What y'all doing this weekend? Solar plans. Alex, I doubt anyone has solar plans other than us. What's your solar plans though, Alex? I mean, probably don't need to ask me, being someone married to a Korean whose family, at least whose parents, live in the same town. We're going to be spending the holiday with my in-laws. Which is just fine by me, you know. In-laws get a bad rap in the world, but I'm pretty fortunate to have good ones. Do like these clear green horns on the mask there. Those pretty cool looking. They're like that. So there's the masked head and the regular head, so you can swap them out without having to exchange any parts. That's appreciated. So here she is so far. So far this part here on the side of the arm comes off too easily. That's a little bit annoying. That's going to be falling off all the time. But I can stick a little bit of glue on that. That will help. But there we have so far. Looking pretty cool. I know it's very dark. Should I adjust the brightness for you guys so you can see a little bit better? Alex also approving of my in-laws. Yes, Alex has met them and dined with them before. That was also Alex. That was also Salar or Chuseok. That was, I think, Chuseok, wasn't it? And let's see. J.H. Mallet asks, "What's Salar?" Salar is a Chinese New Year. We celebrate here in Korea as well. In the West, you guys just know it as just Chinese New Year, but here, both over the years, have you? My wife's, my father-in-law's birthday was this past weekend, so we were all over there, and usually like holidays and stuff. And this is not necessarily typical for like Korean birthdays, but this is certainly typical for like holidays with your family in Korea. You have a big breakfast together, and then you have a big lunch together, and then you have a big dinner together. So you're basically just eating a lot all day. Like in America, we have Thanksgiving where you just have a big lunch. Maybe some families probably, like a big dinner, I mean. Maybe some families like will have lunch together and then have like a big dinner together or something, but they'll probably, at least I know in my family, if we were doing that, like we would intentionally have like a pretty light lunch, and then because obviously we're having a big dinner. But here it's usually like Korean style, where if you guys have ever, like, if you're familiar with Korean style, it's where you've got like tons of stuff on the table. It's just filled with all the side dishes and stuff. It's like that for breakfast, having loads of food, and then lunch, having loads of food, and dinner, having loads of food. So it's just like eating a ton all day long. So it's not necessarily, that's not necessarily the tradition for birthdays as well too, but for my father-in-law's birthday this past Sunday was like that. We were just kind of eating loads from the morning. So my wife and her sister were saying to their mom, like for this coming up holiday, Salar, the New Year's holiday, this coming weekend, they were saying, oh, we don't want to eat all day long, so let's just have like just a really simple breakfast so that we won't be too full like from the morning. So they were proposing just having some just like bread for breakfast, which I'm all in favor of because I don't really like having rice for breakfast. I mean, I love Korean food, well enough. Obviously, I've been here for long enough. I kind of have to. And rice and soup, all that stuff's good by me. I've never really liked to have that in the morning. I'm an American cereal kind of guy. So, just give me something similar, simple for breakfast, and that's, preferable for me. So, just having some nice, just simple bread for breakfast, I'm all for that. That is something I can get down with. Uh-oh. Just chilling at home for Salar. Yeah, I imagine that's, you're not alone in that, Alex. A lot of people are, and a lot of people are supposed to be. Actually, we've got COVID restrictions here in Korea at the moment. I think this is all in Korea. It's not only Suncheon, right? Alex, you can confirm, but where you're not supposed to have a gathering of any more than 5 people in a house. So actually, to have my family, me, my wife, our 2 kids, my wife's parents, and then my wife's sister, her husband, and their kid as well too, actually not all supposed to be celebrating the holiday together in the same house, actually. There's a lot of rice and cereals. Yes, that's a fair point. There's rice and cereal, but it's not the same. No. It's the wrong part. There we go. It's not the same having like rice and myoku, which is like seaweed soup, and which, to be honest, like for myoku, for example, is what we had this past weekend because it's traditionally the kind of soup you're supposed to eat on your birthday. So it was father-in-law's birthday, so we had myoku. I don't really like myoku any time of day, so I certainly don't like it for breakfast. So I was able to skip out on that and just eat other stuff, but still ate like rice, but just without that seaweed soup. It's not. I mean, it's not the fact that it's seaweed. I don't know. I'm not. I've eaten it many times, I should say. I'm not like one of those foreigners like, oh, seaweed, gross, I'm not eating that. I've eaten it many times. I just don't really like the taste. There's certain Korean foods though that, I mean, like normally, like for example, like pig intestines, for example, I like well enough. Other things like bondegi. What's bondegi, Alex? Mesengi cook? No, I don't know what that is, Alex. Oh. Yeah, the seaweed hair soup. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, I do not. No, I would not like that. But what was I saying? Anyway, I've tried octopus. Not that great. Let's talk. Kevin Lee, octopus. That is very mild. I mean, like I know. Okay, bondegi silkworms. Yeah. It's like fried silkworm larva. Bondegi. That's probably my absolute most hated Korean food. Probably bondegi. Really not a fan. Anyway. Yes. Yeah, octopus is very mild. Octopus is very easy to eat, but I know that's like one of those things like for a lot of foreigners, just because we don't eat it a lot in America or in other countries, I guess, as well too. But it's just one of those things that we don't eat all that much, so it's kind of a stereotypical thing. Like foreigners come over, octopus, weird, squid, weird. But I mean, that stuff's super common. I eat that all the time. It's really good. Squid is good. Octopus is good. Actually, we had some octopus this past weekend as part of the birthday all day long feasting. We had some raw octopus, actually. It was good. It's like a pretty common like side dish, just like raw octopus, and then like you eat it with some like red kind of spicy sauce. Dip it in the sauce. Octopus is fine, calamari is delicious. Yes. Kangaroo burger, that's a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that like I'm sure it's good. It just seems a bit weird because I just don't typically think of eating kangaroo, but yeah. Unagi I do not like. Yeah, not a fan. But speaking of which, just recently saw the Friends episode where Phoebe and Rachel were taking like a self-defense class, and Ross was talking about how he used to study karate, as the joke goes throughout the episode. and how he kept telling them that they need to master unagi. And so it's just a joke running throughout the episode that he keeps talking about unagi being like a sense of awareness, of what's going on around you and everything, of your surroundings. And everyone keeps making the joke that it's a kind of sushi. You guys remember that episode? I don't know, people are kind of divided on Friends. I enjoy it well enough, and I've just been have been watching that on Netflix with my wife too. With her not being a native English speaker, it's kind of good for her to just to get some other good English listening practice aside from just listening to me all the time. Friends is notoriously pretty well known, I think, and studied throughout the world as like people who are learning English as a second language watch Friends. So, whatever you think of the series, it is certainly known for that. Friends was neat for the time, but it's best left in the past for me. Yeah, I don't know. There's certainly dated references, but we're now like almost to the end of season 6, and I've been enjoying it. I did watch it when I was younger, back then on TV. I remember some, but like probably towards the end, probably like the first, at least the first half of it. Probably I was too young, I wasn't watching it, but towards the later seasons I probably was watching it more. So there's the body all done, and now we can make all the spider parts. But as far as the body goes, there's a couple of loose parts I'm noticing, like this part here on the side of the head kind of popped off there, and this part here on the side of the arm is seeming like popping off a little bit too easily, but in general pretty solid. Having a couple of parts that pop off pretty easily, most of the Kotobukiya kits have that as well too, so that's not something that Kotobukiya is immune to. They certainly have that a lot too. But yeah, Shirish does look quite cool. I would agree. Now I'm just waiting for one of these Chinese companies, because I don't expect this would happen from like Kotobukiya or Bandai or any Japanese company, but I'm crossing my fingers that one of these Chinese companies will make at least one or a series of Genshin Impact character based model kits. I'd be so down for that. being a Genshin Impact player myself, it just seems like it's obviously there's a lot more other things that would be kind of have a larger fan base in general, but that's something that's like hot and popular now at the time, so I could see them like jumping on its current popularity to produce a kit of like one of them or something. There's a Honkai Impact 3rd type model kit. Oh, really? Bond is playing Genshin Impact right now. I'm envious. Wish I could say the same. I like to just chill out. That's one reason why I like going to my in-laws, because that's not usually what I'll do, but it's a good chance for me to just kick back and just play some Genshin Impact, because we're just hanging out. The kids are playing, just kind of doing their thing, so I can just kind of chill and just play some Genshin Impact on the phone, on mobile. I don't play on the PC. I just play on phone. I guess it's also on PlayStation though too, right? That you can also play it. Did you roll for Zao? Yes, I've been rolling, and so far all I've got is I got one catalyst weapon, which was actually, I forget which one. It was one that even already had. Anyway, so far no luck, and I think I've rolled. I just roll one at a time, and I think so far I've maybe done around 11. So I mean, Farid says got Zhao on the 20th roll. Man, that's lucky. Were you doing like sets of 10? That'd be very lucky. I mean, that feels so good. You do a 10 roll, nothing. You do a 10 roll, it's just coming like nothing, 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 and the last one finally you get it. That'd be, yeah. You had been pretty excited about that. I can imagine. But yeah, no, I think just have been doing individual rolls. I think I've done, yeah, probably around 11 or so. So I mean, it makes sense that I did get something, but unfortunately, it was just not that exciting. Yeah, I forget. It's the catalyst, and it's not. I don't think 5-star. I think it's just 4-star if I remember correctly. It's like the catalyst that's basically meant for electro use. So like pretty much, what's her name? The librarian character. I'm forgetting because I don't play her anymore. I never have her on the team. What's her name? Shit. It's like one of the characters that has like a not difficult name to pronounce. Lisa, yes, there you go. Thank you. Yes, yeah, Lisa. It's the catalyst weapon that I got is one. Basically, seems like it's entirely just for Lisa. My only 5-star is D-Look. Yes, I am the same. Yeah, I think of all the characters, Fischl is not 5-star, right? Fischl, I think, is just 4-star, I believe. Right? I did get Fischl, but not through rolling. I bought her in the store. Previously, you could get her in the store, but now it's changed. Who's in the store now? Someone else who I don't have, so I would like to get her. I don't remember at the moment. But yeah, I've told this story before, but when I rolled D-Look, it was on a 10 roll and rolled and got 2 D-Look in the same 10 roll. It was, I'm sure, in the entire history of the game, that's probably, I mean, to the number of people that's happened to, it's got to be less than 5, I would imagine. But that's the extent of my luck, really. In general, I'm not really that too lucky with the rolls, because I'm not paying anything as well too. So need a lowly claymore user. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if necessarily I would agree 100% with that assertion, but I will say I do love claymores. My team that I stick with now, and I want to say thank you. Last time in the last live stream, guys, we were talking about this. I was talking about Diona. I was saying how I had Diona, but I didn't really use her because I didn't think she was that good. And you guys were telling me to that she was good, so I trusted you guys and invested a bunch to level up my Diona, and I've been using her. And yeah, I actually can confirm that I have been enjoying. I switched out Barbara. I had Barbara in there, and then I switched out Barbara for Diona, and yeah. Still got some healing, which is basically the reason I was keeping Barbara, was for the healing. And you can still do that. You can still get some healing with Diona, but the shield is also really quite nice. These parts are really, it's really hard to get that little piece in there for the hinges for the spider legs, you have like the two halves, and then you have this like little tiny little X kind of key shaped part that fits inside there, and you have to press it super hard to get that into there. So just a heads up if any of you guys are getting one of these kits. And it's the same thing with the Circat, the Scorpion one as well too, has the same parts. I mean, just press on that thing to the point where you think it's gonna break, and then it'll pop into place. Because it's a tiny little piece that seems really fragile, but no man, you just gotta muscle it. It's the only way to get that in there. Just like line it up so that it looks like pretty straight, like it's pretty straight on in there. Oh, sorry, I'm doing this off camera, aren't I? So that like it's just barely in there. It's about as much as it's gonna go before it's kind of getting off center, but and then just barely just smash it in there. It's kind of the only way to do it. So anyway. Make Bennett as your support. I don't have Bennett, so that would be the problem. Anyway, I was gonna say my team, yes. So I switched out Barbara for Diona, and then I've got D-Look, Noel, and what's his name? Shit, the Electro Wolf guy. I suddenly can't remember his name. Yeah. But they're all Claymore, except Diona is bow. Razor, yes, thank you, Razor, right. For the 1.0, I hated the hinges, yeah. Yes, Razor, thank you. Yep, Razor, D-Look. And they're a really good combination because both really strong, and the reaction you get between electro and fire is good. So switching back and forth between them, and the cooldown time on their what's it called, elemental burst, the stronger attack. I always get them confused what those are called. Anyway, the cooldown time is pretty low, so I can basically just kind of switch back and forth between them and do pretty good damage. I have Fischl, Razor, and Jean, and Klee. I don't have Klee. Everyone says Klee is good, but I don't have her. And my team, Razor, base attack is 3k. Yeah. Fischl I do have. I just recently got her, and I know I know lots of people use her, and she's supposed to be super good. She's another one too. I tried using her for a little bit, and was just not really that impressed. But maybe it's the same kind of case like what was the case with Diona. That was my feeling with her as well too. You guys said just try her. I did, and I'm much more impressed with her now. So I mean, but because I've got Razor doing pretty well, I kind of don't really feel I want to add another Electro character with Fischl. So it'd be kind of one or the other, and I think I just prefer Razor. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, the ability to send out, what's his name, the Crow character, just being flying around on his own, just to do like constant damage, is pretty good, I guess. But I feel like I would need to level up her constellation probably before I would be wanting to use Fischl. So I don't know, if I roll another Fischl and get that constellation up, you know, maybe I'll see. That's what happened with Diona, basically why we were talking about that. I got another Diona, so the constellation is up. Sounds like you just don't like bow users. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I don't think I'm alone. And that I saw, there's one YouTube channel that I guess I subscribed to. I don't know if I remember subscribing to. I know I've watched some of the videos, but it's a a Gotcha. I think actually the name of the channel is Gotcha Gaming or something like that. It's a channel that does a bunch of Genshin Impact videos. I think probably they do other stuff as well too. Kind of whatever the hot Gotcha game is at the time. But anyway, this channel does put up pretty regularly polls on different stuff related to the game on YouTube. So I saw one of the polls recently was asking about preferred play style for the weapons, and I'm not alone, I guess, apparently, in that people like using claymores, because it was between the different weapons in the poll. When I saw the results, claymore was like far and away the preferred one among people voting. So shit. Wow, that's a miracle. That piece went flying away and didn't go very far. That's why they need to update the mobile version to use controllers. I have a controller peripheral that straps onto the phone that makes it so much more comfortable to play. When I play without that, yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm always pressing the wrong buttons. Like, I'm always pressing jump when I want to dash, and it makes, you know, when you get into the spicy battles and you're pressing the wrong buttons, it's kind of annoying. The buttons are like right in the lower corner there, and just with big hands without that controller peripheral, it's just kind of trickier for me. Yes, Rodri, the piece almost got sent into another universe. Yes, fortunately it's like quiet in here so I could hear where it landed. That's the problem. That's the problem with carpet. Not only is like once a tiny piece goes into the carpet, it's just kind of lost in the jungle, but there's also no sound to hear where it fell. Usually, like, I would do this a lot of times, like when I was working at school and just like building something at my desk. Like, usually I would have headphones on and be like playing something on YouTube or something while I'm just working on snap building a kit. And if I was putting together a small part like this that I thought there's a chance it might shoot across the room or something, I'd turn off the music or something. Whatever I'm listening to in my headphones, I'd pause it and turn it off so that I can listen to it, just in case this piece goes flying, I can hear where it goes. Yeah. That's why I work on tiles, to hear that bounce. Yeah. Okay, so now that those are finally all done, those damn joint parts that are very difficult to put together, got these ones here. So that just pops into there. So you got your swords, which you also have option pieces for if you prefer them in that clear pinkish purple or just solid dark purple. You have options for all the sword blades, but obviously these clear pinkish purple ones are the way to go for that. Oh my god, Zach, you go Primal Instinct mode to find a piece. Yes, sure. Anyway, last night was kind of funny. I was playing a little bit Genshin Impact before bed, and I was just like wandering around, and got to, I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, Geo Vishna, something like that. Anyway, that enemy, it's kind of like a big, I don't know, kind of rock, not like rock monster rock. It's like a monster sand slash from Pokemon kind of thing. There's the regular ones, and then there's the big one. I think the big one is new, right? I think that's a new enemy, I believe. Or there's a super big one. That's the new enemy. I haven't gone to see. I know there's that new big Geo monster enemy. I haven't gone to see it though. I just ran into one in the wild around though, and must be similar. But anyway, it was the big massive one, and then two of just like the kind of regular sized ones. Those Geo Sand Slashes is what they'll call them. Yeah, Geo Vishap. Yeah. There's the big one and then the two little ones. And whilst we were in the middle of the fight, the two little ones both glitched out. Where they're doing like their like spinning ball, so they're just sitting there, just like sitting there, just constantly just and like not doing anything. I could attack it, but there was no health bar, so like I was seeing like the number come up for the damage of the attack, but it wasn't showing any health bar or anything. So, and I was standing right next to them, and their spinning attack is not doing any damage to me, so they're just glitched out, stuck like that. It was pretty funny. But it was causing my whole game to glitch out, because then I was like I just gave up. Like, alright, well, peace out, and just, it was good because that gave me a chance to kill the big one easier without the two little ones buzzing around. They were just stuck. So I killed the big one easier. That was good. But then I went to go walk away, and the game just started like glitching out. It wasn't allowing me to switch characters. I was trying to switch, and it was just going like beep, 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 beep. It was making the sound, but not actually switching. And then I was like trying to check something. It's like a plant or something I tried to pick up, and it wasn't picking it up. And then it was just like not doing anything. So I had to just exit the app and then go back in. It was weird. It's the first time that's happened to me with the game. Yeah. Let's see. Been reading Genshin manga. Hope we find out what country the 8th element is based on, either USA or South Korea. Oh. Are they based on different countries? I didn't really think about that. And there's a manga? I didn't know about that either. I demand you send me a link, because I'm interested. I'm assuming that you can read it online. It's probably not something that's actually printed, right? Each element is a country. Okay, yeah. I guess that makes sense. It's on Webtoons. I am kind of familiar with the term Webtoons, but I don't really know, unfortunately, what that really is. As far as a website goes, I mean, I should say. Zach out here starting a tiny plastic arsenal. Yeah, I know. All these, and fortunately, you can see like on these parts, and then you got these little black parts that fit onto there, but they're numbers. You can see a little number here, 1, 2, 3, and on the inside of here, there's also a corresponding number 2. So that makes it very convenient. So these parts that they look almost exactly the same. So I think if you try to put the wrong one in there, I don't know if it would not fit or something or what, but I guess they must be slightly different enough that they decided to do that, to number them to make it easier for you. But that's pretty cool how they just put little numbers in there. Does make your life easier. Electro is Japan. See, Mondstadt is Western Europe. Yeah, that makes sense. What, Liuwei, right? I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Obviously China. And what about Dragonspine? What's that supposed to be like? God. Can't think. Scandinavia. God dang. Scandinavia, or like kind of Greenland, sort of, I guess, or something like that. Or anyway, where is it? That super snowy like that, or Siberia. Mondstadt is Europe in general, yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that they're all kind of. I didn't really. I mean, Liyue or whatever. Again, I'm sorry for the mispronunciation. Is very obviously Chinese, but like Mondstadt in general, I never really got the sense that like it was meant to be like any certain particular region. I mean, it's just a kind of generic, deciduous kind of area. It's not as specific as something that's very specifically China, for example. Mondstadt is Germany. All characters have German names. Ah. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. Like a Diluc, I don't know for certain because I don't know much about German names, but that sounds German, I guess. Yeah. Lisa, I guess. What's the Amber? Is that also German? I don't know. Doesn't sound too particularly German, but I guess so. Alright. We're getting close to being done. I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I may have to stop before we're actually done. Hopefully not, but then your sword fits down into the leg like that. Now I'm just worried that possibly once you're taking that out of there, if the sword blade gets stuck, because the connection between the sword blade and the handle is actually a little bit weak. So I think once you're taking that out, the sword blade might get stuck in there and you just pull off the handle, but at least so far it doesn't seem the case. You can actually see the tip of the sword blade inside the clear green part there at the bottom. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see the sword blade poking down into that clear green part there. It's kind of funny. I think Diluc leans a little French though. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it does. French, German, something like that. It certainly doesn't sound Asian. And it's certainly not a common name in America either, I can say, as an American, but... Alright. I glued all the swords to the hilts, but that was before the clear options. Now, yeah, okay, so yeah, the original kit didn't have clear options for the swords, and the original kit didn't have clear green parts as well, too. Christopher, can you confirm that for me? Because we were talking about that earlier, and I just wanted to make sure I'm giving everyone correct information about what's different from the original version of this kit to the new version. And so the original version didn't have clear green, is that right? Can you go ahead and confirm that for me? But yes, anyway, like I was saying, we're just about done, but just in case I might have to log off here just before we finish, because suddenly last night or this morning our boiler was suddenly not working, so the person coming to fix it is coming at 11:30, which is in 15 minutes, and you know, he's probably not going to be there at 11:30, but I need to be at least just in case. Yeah, the original had no clear parts at all. Interesting. So yeah, this new version is definitely an upgrade then, with the addition of the clear parts, because they certainly make the kit a lot better looking, I would say. I'm just trying to imagine the kit now without the clear parts, and yeah, it just would not be as impressive, eh? All right. No pilot figure. I see. I'm just seeing an alert come up for a comment on. Let's see. Hang on. Comment on my Xiong review, and yeah, wasn't there a? Was there not a pilot figure with the RG Xiong? I mean, I just did the review, so I should be telling you guys, not asking you guys. But yeah, come to think of it, there was no pilot figure with the Xiong. There usually always is. But now that I'm thinking about that, was there not a pilot figure with that kit? Oh no, that's really gonna bother me. Did I forget? Did I somewhere like lose that somewhere along the line and forget to show that in the review? Or did it really not have one and I also just forgot to mention it? That would have also been something worth mentioning in the review, I think, but did I forget to mention that? Yes, the bus. That's weird. Now I need to check. Now that's gonna bother me. That's got me concerned. We'll see how well these legs hold up the weight of the kit as well too. If you want to have like them completely supporting the weight of the kit, and having the main body like up off the ground, because the legs don't seem necessarily that strong, but you've got 6 of them, so probably strong enough to hold up the body. Body's not that heavy. There wasn't one mentioned in Mecha Gaikotsu's review either. Was there not? Yeah, that I didn't really think about that, just because the pilot figures, you know, it's just kind of a thing that's just kind of there, and it's never really that too much of an exciting feature, in my opinion. So, you know, I never really make too big of a deal of it. It's just kind of thing I mentioned in the review. Okay, it's got a pilot figure. Here's what it looks like, and that's kind of the end of it. Then just tossed it immediately, just tossed back in the box. But I mean, yeah, that is a staple of the RG line that they all come with pilot figures as well too. So that is kind of odd if it didn't include one. So interesting. I didn't notice that. In other news, something else that I'll just let you guys know about in the kind of upcoming reviews, I got an Armored Core kit. People, not always, but every so often, I get asked to review more Armored Core stuff. I've only have ever reviewed one Armored Core kit. I only have ever built the one, except for the one that I'm currently building right now, that I'm almost done with, the 9-ball Seraph kits. I was working on that past couple days, and it's almost done, so that'll be reviewed in the very near future as well too. Those of you guys who have been wanting an Armored Core review. But after that, I gotta say it's probably gonna be quite a while before I ever review any other Armored Core stuff again, because the reason I don't is just because I just don't really like most of the designs that much, and this particular kit is also just reminding me why I don't really like building Armored Core kits. Aside from just not really liking the design that much, they're a little bit hand grenadey, or a little bit touchy. Dianjo said, did someone mention my favorite mecha franchise? Well, Dianjo, I'm sorry to say that aside from the 9-ball Seraph kit review coming up, it's probably going to be about the extent of much Armored Core coverage on my channel. Wouldn't expect to see a whole lot much else after that. Alright, crunch time. Just a few pieces left, and just a few minutes left to build it. So let's do this thing. Just kind of the main section of the spider pack here, I guess. Like that. Wait. Armored Core games were the shit growing up. Yeah, I mean, they were pretty cool because it was like, at least in the West, there wasn't a lot of, like, if you were a mecha fan, there wasn't a whole lot of mecha games that were out there. I mean, Armored Core in general was pretty good, especially at that time. So yeah, definitely. Hang on, I'm just trying to make sure got this part on here right. Yeah, I didn't play it a ton, but I definitely put some hours into playing probably Armored Core 3 the most. And then I think I also played a little bit of Nexus, I want to say. Kind of difficult to get this piece into here. Come on. Get in there, you. Hoi. There you go. Alright. Then this one, no, not that one. This one was on here. Spider. Nexus. John just said Nexus was my first Armored Core game. Yeah. 3rd generation Armored Core mechs are pretty cool. Yeah. Definitely. Those were pretty fun. You know, I enjoyed them well enough. There's that. So some nice color separation. It's kind of hard because their colors are pretty dark, but you got like the super dark purple, like almost black kind of color, slightly purplish black, and then the dark gray. But you got some nice color separation there between those parts. It's just very dark, kind of hard to see, but it's there. Then got that one. Like that. Okay. Like that. These are like for the abdomen of the spider, basically. Let's see. Is frame of the girl solid? Are you okay? Sorry, I kind of read that a little bit awkwardly, but yeah. Is the frame of the girl solid? You mean like is the base kit for just the girl character solid? Yes. Yeah, pretty solid. Yeah. A couple of like the outer armor parts and stuff are a little bit kind of touchy, but yeah, everything does feel pretty solid. All right, last couple parts here. This tiny little guy, where does that fit? Oh, up inside there. This tiny little piece. That seems a bit odd. I'm building my Orange, Haro, and SD God Gundam while watching this. Very cool. Love some God Gundam. Oh, let's see. This is the piece that I need. That's why that was looking kind of weird. That was the wrong piece. That looks more like it. Oof. Here you go. Let me give that a good press. Make sure that's real good on there. Then these ones go on here. It's just like the last little connection bit for everything. So once you've got this, then you can actually get everything all put together. Like that. Yeah. And this one should be this part up like that. Your connection here for all the legs. And close that up. Close that up. Come on now. That's not closing up, but I think it's fine. Yes, it is. Or do we take that apart and see what's the problem here? Okay. Come on, get off there. What's the deal? Who's having issues here? Can't seem to notice any problem. Why this would not be fitting together flushly, but so whatever. Don't know why. Oh, there. I think I found the culprit. Well, it was not, this part was not fitting in there totally. And it's strange. Okay, there are slightly different pieces. Looks like, actually. I thought all 6 of these pieces were the same, but actually they're not. So that's the trouble. 2 are different, which need to be the ones that go in the front. Like that. Or there's a certain way these go in there. It's not just completely random as I was thinking that it was. So there you go. Now this should fit together flushly. There we go. That's much better. Thank you very much. And let's see, where's this little guy go? Oh, here on the bottom of this one. Hey. Gonna need the tweezers to get this in exactly in the right spot. Go. All right, you can do it. Thank you. Appreciate the words of encouragement there. So flip down that little bit there. Pop this out. A lot of little tight bits kind of running my fingers a bit raw, to be honest, but there's that, and that goes on there like that, and we can connect all of our legs onto here. But it's a 6-legged spider, which is not right. I guess if you count her legs as well too, then it's 8 legs. But she's also got arms, so do you not count the arms? Then it would be too many. It'd be 10 legs. I guess those aren't legs, they're arms. So, right. Anywho, there you have it. Pretty interesting, yeah, there for that. Very creepy, indeed. Can't really be so much it's like its own thing. With the circuit, you can have the scorpion as its own separate thing, just totally scorpion just on its own. But for this, it's just kind of not really so much of a thing on its own. It's just a backpack for it. But that is pretty much it. I gotta run, guys. So that's gonna be all for today. Got some parts here to put together for the base as well, but I'll do that a little bit later. It's pretty simple. You have a cool base for that and everything, and the kit. So there she is, guys. Pretty cool. This is just the second Attack Girl kit that I built after the circuit and this, and they're very similar between the two of these. So I'm looking forward to building other ones in the line as well too, seeing how they compare. Basically, kind of I've built so far just kind of 2 different versions of the same kit essentially. There's not a lot of the same parts, really. Actually, most of the kit is not the same. Some of like the base body parts and like a couple of the joint parts and the spider legs is really kind of all that's recycled between the 2 kits. But I mean, in general, similar kits anyway. The other ones are much different. So that's gonna be it for today, guys. Either tomorrow, but I think probably more likely Thursday is gonna be the next stream. So 2 days from now will be the next live stream. Will be the 3rd and final part of live stream building the Maschinenkrieger Dachshund kit. Will be the next live build. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure if Lincoln is going to be joining us again for that live stream or not, but possibly. I think he was considering that. But hope this has been interesting for any of you guys who were wanting to see a little bit more about these Attack Girl kits. I gotta say, solid, pretty good. Yeah, good. I think. Not 100% like Kotobukiya quality, but very close. I think so. Definitely, I think they're pretty good. And this is the first kit in the line. Then again, the Circuit kit, which I also built, is one of the more recent ones in the line, and not really that different. So I can't necessarily see a like noticeable improvement like from the first kit to the 5th kit, but you know, going past kit number 5, I'm sure probably there'll be some more just improvements and stuff in general, I guess. I don't know, but anyway, Kevin Lee, now Poser. I will Poser in the review, so you guys will have to stay tuned for watching that a little bit later. But for now, guys, I'm gonna head off. Next video is going to be another work in progress on the Trash to Treasure GPO2, so look forward to that. Probably tonight, posted later tonight. So see you guys later.